Hello, and welcome to this Wednesday afternoon. We are getting you over the hump here this Wednesday, each and every Wednesday. Welcome to the Realtor Reese Show. I am your host, Reese Punter. How's everybody doing out there? Beautiful weather. It's gorgeous out there. I'm in studios right here in Sacramento, California. I have been around gorgeous weather for the last 2 weeks. It's been great, with the exception of flying in on Friday morning into San Diego. And it's bad enough to fly into San Diego. Folks, if you're out there and you're listening and you've ever flown into San Diego, Steve's already laughing over here across. Folks, Steve Atala, Summit Funding, right across from me, snuck in. If you heard the creak, you know, it's kind of like that. You know, if you've ever, it was my back on that flight. Jeez.
No, you're coming right into the middle of the city.
Yeah, I can't get used to that. You know, my daughter out there, for those of you who follow me on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff, thank you. First off, but you know, I talk a lot about my oldest daughter, Chelsea, who graduated from San Diego State.
Congratulations. I
am very, very proud. It was a great weekend.
I think that means that you're buying dinner now. That's off the books, right?
I did, but for the kids. Jeez, I say kids. My daughter's 22 years old now, and her boyfriend, Mick, they've been together now 3 years, and I tried not to like this guy, and it's hard. He's a good guy. He's a good kid. So he calls me Papa P. I can't get used to that.
Well, get used to it.
I can't get used to that. Papa P. And he says, hey, Papa P, these are my plans. This is what's going on. And he's getting his MBA. I couldn't be more proud of both of them. They're doing a really good job. She's got a place to live. She's going to be living out in the OC.
Awesome. And
nowhere near the water. More like Santa Ana. When I say OC, I mean Santa Ana.
Oh, I think that price goes up the closer you get to the water.
And so she is all but done. And my wife and I are going to give her a grace period. And we said, I think we're cutting her off in June or July or something. Or maybe we're going to cut it off sooner and the money's in my wife's trunk. I don't know. But it felt really good to kind of put an end on that chapter. I know a lot of folks, this was like graduation weekend. Everybody was out, everybody was involved, and so it's great to see so many of thousands of people across our great nation being released into this workforce, and then they won't get jobs.
Well, I think your daughter's already got that under control though, right?
Oh yeah, no, she's got, no. We put her on the double shift. She's got both shifts at the Burger King. But hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Speaking of Burger King, you can work there and own a home apparently in Sacramento, ranked number 9 in the nation's most affordable living. Can you believe that?
Absolutely. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But yeah, you definitely can.
We're back, folks. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Why doesn't seem like it? We're going to talk a little bit about that and what's, I was down in San Diego, and they are building like crazy.
Really?
I mean, all kinds of stuff. So I didn't think they had any room, right? I'm walking by, it's like New York or something, and they just kind of wedged something in there, and it's, hey, this is going to be here.
It's just like downtown Sacramento.
You know what? Downtown Sacramento, they are, slowly kicking and dragging and screaming and building and making things happen down there. It's busy. I like it.
Seems like there's a project on every corner.
It does. Well, that's better than having the projects on every corner.
That's a good point.
See,
that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that one.
It's better than having that. So I'm glad. We're doing some building. My long time, I can't even say assistant anymore. She's a colleague. She's up and running. She's doing great. Carmen Hannafan is looking to purchase in a new development out there off of Broadway. At the end of Broadway.
I know where you're at.
Right? Yeah. And so they've got, and everyone has a balcony looking over the river. Mm-hmm. So there's more to come.
Absolutely.
Can't scare us. You can't scare us Sacramentans away. What is it? We got a little flood problem. Oh, dams are breaking. Oh, no problem. We'll just build more and we'll live right on the water anyway. We love the muddy rivers of Sacramento. We'll take it. What? Crickets? What? You got a comment on that?
I'm like, where's he going next with this one? I like it, okay? Well, he's got a plan. I know he's got a plan. He's got a blank piece of paper, but he's got a plan.
Here's my plan. My plan is, you know who else is up the river?
Tell me.
The Kings might be. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it kind of fell to, where I thought they'd be at number 6. And the big question is what's going to happen in the draft. Because, it could go as planned, or you could have some trades. It's really hard to say.
With so many changes in the organization, recent changes, are we making the right moves? Do we have the right personnel within the organization that are making the right moves? I mean,
and I think the biggest change, this is going to be the first draft under George Karl. And you look at his track record wherever he's been.
True.
It's success.
True. What, 22 years, he's at 20 in the playoffs, right?
And what is it, 5 teams he's taken to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it's a track record. You can't argue with it. Hey, he's from Pittsburgh. I mean, come on. Got my Steelers sweatshirt on and everything. He's from Pittsburgh.
Yes, you do.
It's going to go well. And, I just think he's going to mold this team. I personally think they've got a lot of the right pieces in place. And I think that it's 6. You never know what you're going to get in the draft. Okay?
Yeah.
But there's going to be a quality player there. And with all the needs they've got, I think it's going to be a good thing.
Well, I know what's going to be a great thing, that is, you'll be happy to know this. I withdrew my name. I took my name out.
Did you?
I did.
Is that the 40 and over rec league, or what exactly is that?
You know what? No. For your information, I had an honorary invitation that came in. It came.
They needed a realtor.
It came via satellite, but I can't be selfish. I can't be. Our other daughter, it's her birthday today, so happy birthday, Ariana. If you are out there listening, you better be out there listening. It's her birthday today, so I had graduation, I had birthday for my youngest, who's 14 now.
And you didn't want to complicate it with the NBA draft.
So I'm broke, right? So I've my mind is going 100 different places. Who knows what's going to happen here in this draft? I will say this though. What happens? I'm going to put the question out there.
Okay.
What happens now? We're doing all of this building downtown. We're putting a new arena. We're putting a lot of money invested in the Kings in this. So here we are again, right? Is it silly us, and here we're going along for the ride with high expectations, or is this good business for the Kings?
Reese, I can speak from experience because I came here from Columbus, Ohio, and I moved to Columbus in 1997, and in '99. They started construction on the downtown arena for the Columbus Blue Jackets.
They're waiting for you to leave.
They did. I was there for about 2-3. I got 4 years with the Blue Jackets. But I saw them take a section of downtown Columbus, a college town, a lot going on there. That they had an old federal prison. I mean, it looked like Shawshank Redemption.
Boom.
Wiped it out. Put the arena in. And you go back there today.
The people are out though first, right?
Oh yeah, they
because that's just cruel.
They transfer them.
Okay.
But you saw a transformation of that downtown, and I still own property there, and I go back a couple times a year. And the arena district is phenomenal. From they've got the Blue Jackets.
Okay.
They've got a AAA baseball team.
What were the Blue Jackets?
Blue Jackets, Columbus Blue Jackets. NHL started first year was 2000.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
And they also played in the Who Cares Bowl, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, Blue Jackets. I mean,
you got to be an NHL fan to follow them. They're not making a lot of noise. They're not making the playoffs, but it's but what they've done with that downtown arena district, we're going to see it happen here.
I see. Who else is thriving?
Tell me.
Cleveland. They're back.
They are.
Right? They just dust off the shelves and let's see. Hey, LeBron's back. We're making money again.
But they still got the Browns.
Yeah, they actually lose money on that deal.
They still got the Browns. Yeah.
So you think it's good for business? I'm going to put that question out to you guys and go to my Facebook. You go to Realtor Reese Show /Facebook. You can also reach me at Reese@RealtorReese.com. I will be reading emails. If you feel like calling, you got the courage, you think you can take on Steve and I, you think you got what it takes, give us a call, 866-576-1055. That number again, 866-576-1055. We've got a lot to cover. A lot of things going on. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling well rested. I got a quick story to tell you. We're going to talk about that and then some as soon as we return. Folks, don't go anywhere. Don't turn that dial. You are locked in to the Realtor Reese Show. Back. That was quick. That was quick. Before the light even turned red, you are back locked in to the Realtor Reese Show. I am your host, Realtor Reese Punter. I am joined today by no other than the lender, the master, the creator. I don't know how you do it. You know, you make me look great, and I thank you for that.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you
You
very
know,
much.
when I get to walk into the closing table, and you know, a little different closing table here than it is back, back east where I'm from.
You know, great point.
You
Yeah.
know, they just close, you're done, you get the keys right there, there's an attorney there.
Every house that I've ever purchased, and I've got 3, and I've never sold one back in the state of
The
Ohio.
king of Baltic Avenue,
Yeah,
ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
going to put up a hotel pretty soon. But you sit down at the table, the seller's on one side, the buyer's on the other.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's signing, you got your realtors there, you exchange keys, you
It
talk.
seems simple.
It is.
It seems simple. You got an attorney or two, you know, there. You know what I did? I always like to bring the celebrity with me. So I brought Judge Judy to my closing. And, well, this stuff is true, I'm making up. And I brought her out there, and went smooth, went great. She owns 15% of it. I don't know how that happened, but a little bit different here in how we
All those papers you
sign.
sign, something was in there.
We all come to the table, and then then what happens is the lender has to fund, and so that could take 24 hours, 48 hours. How long does it take? How long does it take over to summon funding?
Typically, we sign on one day and fund on the next day because we're what's called a wet funding company,
Okay.
which essentially means that we really don't have prior to funding conditions. So pretty much once the docs go to title and everybody signs, the title company will literally send about 5 documents back to us, the funder reviews them, and we're typically funding the next day.
It's like it's a real hurry up and wait. Folks, if you're out there and you are contemplating buying a home and you're a first-time home buyer and you work with me or my team, you will hear the correlation or the metaphor, if you will, and the home flight to home ownership, or the flight path to home ownership. I use that a lot, right? And there's always some turbulence that goes on because there's a lot of things going on.
It's like flying into San Diego.
That's called a wraparound.
There you go.
In comedy, I think that's what they call it. And there's so many things going on. It's a hurry up and wait game, and sometimes clients, they get a little frustrated. They're like, "Hey, I already gave them that, and why are they asking again?" Right?
Well, the one thing I make every client do when we first sit down is I say, repeat after me, loans are not easy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of paperwork. You're going to have a time during the process when you say, why do you need this?
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to ask that question because I'm always going to explain it to you and tell you why. But typically, like you said, a lot of times one document will open a question. It'll open a can of worms. It'll open another question.
Sure.
So, it happens a lot of time with bank statements or deposits. And so, we may need the next month's bank statement, and then we have to source deposits and different things like this.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's not easy. The biggest thing that we can do as a lender is just communicate.
Yep.
Is my cell phone is here.
Yep. That's it.
And I tell buyers, ask questions. Don't just sit there, because I remember what it was like being a first-time home buyer. I hate to say this, 20 years ago.
Mhm.
And, I've been in the industry for 15 years.
Okay.
So I've been on the other side of that equation. And I tell every first-time home buyer.
No different.
Well, I tell them, when I did this, it was before cell phones, and I could never get a hold of my lender. He, always made me feel kind of silly for the questions I was asking.
Sure.
And I felt lost.
Yep.
And the thing I tell every first-time home buyer is, you're not going to have that experience. And when I can almost just see the tension fall out of their face.
No, yeah.
Wow, okay.
And let me say that you do a really, really good job of reading the body language. Because some of us out there, ladies and gentlemen, you know who you are. You're in your car now and you got that body language, right? And my wife, she reads mine. I mean, we've been together for so many years now. She just, I'll be shuffling, or we're, in some kind of transaction at a bank or a new car dealership. She can read that. And you do a great job of reading clients and knowing which ones really want to hear about the front end and back end debt ratio and why it's called that and what kind of mathematical algorithms go into it, versus someone that says, look, what's my rate? Let me sign. Good job, and I'm out of here. Right.
You do. You get all kinds of buyers and all kinds of personalities, and some people want to know every little detail. Some people want what every little disclosure is about. Others ones will, basically say to me, tell me the important ones.
Sure.
Tell me what I need to know.
Sure. That's how I am. You know what?
Yeah.
You know, hey, give me the meat, I'll throw out the bones.
There you
know
go.
what I mean?
Yep.
I don't spare me the labor pain, show me the baby. Folks, how are you out there? I'm going to check my Facebook right now. If you are at Realtor Reese Show /Facebook, you will find me. You may also find me at 866-576-1055, 866-576-1055, RealtorReese.com. We are here getting you over the hump each and every Wednesday. It is already May 20th, my little daughter's birthday. I got a late start today. I just got into, I just getting
Yeah, I know, we had lunch plans, remember?
Well, duty calls.
You're forgiven, buddy. No,
Duty calls.
when it's your daughter's birthday, I respect the fact that you're at the school serving lunch.
Everything gets
Good man.
pushed. Everything gets pushed back.
As it should,
Yeah.
right?
You got to do what you got to do.
I just want a piece of cake out of it, that's all.
I just want the big piece of chicken. We've had a tremendous week in terms of interest rates again. It seems like
It's been a roller coaster. It's just been, well, I don't want to say roller coaster. It's just been a slight ebb and flow up and down. And, we've seen deteriorations, we've seen improvements, but then again, that's been the story for quite a while now.
it has been. It
Yes.
really has been. It was
Keep the fingers crossed. Let's hope it stays that way. Yeah.
August of 2000, or was it July 8th, 2014. That's when everything shifted. That's when everything changed, and that's where Big Brother, Fed, said, listen, okay, we're not going to go through this again. We're not going to have this. And we had a huge interest rate hike, largest since the 80s for a one-day hike. And it put things back into perspective, and it really hasn't been right since. I mean, in terms of, hey, which direction are we going? I mean, we're looking at 3-month trends in Sacramento County, and we're all over the place. 3 months ago it was down, now it's spiking up. It's really street by street. So if you are out there and you are thinking, hey, I think we're gonna sell. It's inventory isn't as great in my neighborhood versus others, and I know people want to get in and get settled before the school year while it is summer, and you're thinking about selling, I will give you a free, no-cost analysis of your home. And I mean, I really dive. I'm going to break my arm, pat myself on the back here, Steve, but I dig deep with the parcel, the property, the subdivision, where it's located, etc. Because
You can ask this man any neighborhood, he'll tell you the zip code.
from my days of UPS, I thought it was 8 years wasted.
It's a little, it's a little Rain Man-ish at times, but it's interesting.
My wife's like, shut up! But really, what's happened here in the last 2 years has been great to see, because we've seen modest gains, we've seen some progress, we've had to do a lot of collaborating with, where we're respecting each other's industry and what we're doing and how we market to people, etc. Point is, we've had to formulate a team, and I know that you've done so in the last 2 years, especially your team over at Summit Funding. You know what? I'm going to call you out right now. You've gotten much better since you've identified with what you don't do well or what you don't want to do, and have a team member handle it. And now you've got a Scottie Pippen, you've got a Tony Kukoc. I mean, this lineup is forming to be a winner. Tell me about it.
Well, and it does. That's one of the things that I think we do really well. I have a loan partner, Jenny Norman, I know she's probably not listening because
hey, Jenny,
she's still
back there
right
working
there in front of her computer knocking it out. But she handles everything.
Cursing you under her breath.
She had her birthday last week. I got her a nice present, so I think we're doing okay. But one of the things is that she works hand in hand with me, with my client, from contract to close. And so while we're asking for conditions, while we're needing that, because we're missing page 4 of a bank statement, because it didn't come through on the scanner or something like that, that's what Jenny's working with. And then she's working with my processor, who is in turn working with the underwriter. And so we've got a team. We've got lots of points of contact for the client, and they always know they can reach out to one of us, and it's the same. We're all communicating, we're talking, and like I said, it can feel like a bumpy ride.
Sure.
But it's about getting the client to the closing,
to the celebration,
with as little bit of stress as
possible. To the celebration. What we want to do, ladies and gentlemen, is you have a little bit of turbulence when you're on that that flight, back in from wherever, and you're getting a little nervous. You're grabbing the edge of the seat, you're looking up, you're looking around, and you see flight attendants just kind of moving around, offering you juice. Everything's okay. They've been through it 100 times. They've seen it. They know what to expect, and they can put your mind at ease by being relaxed, by being calm, but still being of communication, of letting you know what's going on throughout the transaction.
The big thing, Reese, is it's also 3 sets of eyes before the file ever gets to an underwriter.
Good point.
It's myself, it's Jenny, and Marion. Between us, there's probably 50 years of experience there. We've seen a lot of files. You never see every scenario. I'm working on one right now, completely different.
Aren't they all?
Well, and this is a gentleman who has 5 rental properties.
Okay.
He also has 4 or 5 corporations.
Okay.
And he runs his rental properties through his profit sharing plan.
Okay.
I
already.
Yeah, you got a headache.
Explode.
And you want to talk about a lot of documentation. It was, and that's one that, going to my head underwriter in 30 years in the industry, hadn't seen it done that way. It's beautiful. It's brilliant. It's a great strategy.
Sure.
But it's just something you don't see. So going into that, tons of documentation up front, CPA letters, lots of explanations. But we're able to get that deal done when I think a lot of other people would have thrown their hands up in the air.
Sure. And what's great, folks, we're here with Steve Hatala from Summit Funding, talking a little bit about the loan process and how Summit Funding and Steve's team will put your mind at ease when you're looking to buy, when you're looking to refinance. There is a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. Some you may think is incredibly important to know, some you may not want to know. But nonetheless, you'll get the information from Steve and his team over at Summit Funding. Tell the folks real quick, if they want to ask a question, maybe you don't want to sell your home right now. Maybe you're fine, but maybe you say, what, I've been hearing stuff on television, and maybe I can get the rates a little bit lower. Mm-hmm. Maybe we should call. Maybe we should just find out, right? That's no cost, right?
No. You know what? And I will talk to anyone. 916-205-1468.
1468-205-1468.
What I tell everyone is that if you have any questions about real estate finance, give me a call. I deal 100% with residential, but I've got great sources for commercial lending. So if someone has a question about commercial property, feel free to give us a call. It's better. One of my good friends said this to me a while back, and I love the statement. He said, it's the conversations we don't have that cost us the most. Ooh. And it's so true. So if someone's got a question, ask the question. Let's get you the answer. Let's give you the information you need to help you make an informed decision.
Well said. I don't need to say anything
I get lucky once in a while.
else. All I need to do is just bask away in the back of my chair, looking out at the beautiful skyline of Sacramento from our gorgeous studios right here in Sacramento, California. Steve Hatala, Summit Funding. You are listening to him and Realtor Reese. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We are back. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming back. You are with Realtor Reese. You are locked into the Realtor Reese Show, getting you over the hump each and every Wednesday. We are here today with Steve Hatala from Summit Funding, educating us a little bit about the loan process, talking a little bit about sports. It gets towards, my busy time with the league in basketball. I work for a company called Sports Star Relocation, have the pleasure of working with athletes when they get cut or traded. And now we're getting into, the summer. We'll see some leagues, going up. We'll see training coming up pretty soon. And so as the athletes get settled, I try to definitely make my presence felt so that I can partner them with the right home. So if you are out there and you're thinking, you know what, I could totally see a 7-footer in my living room, and you want to sell that mansion, give me a call. 916-804-7526. Go Google me, Realtor Reese. You'll find me at realtorreese.com. I'll do a complimentary analysis on your home. The one thing you're going to get, whether you go with me or not, most folks do. I'm a likable guy.
Absolutely.
Right? I'm a likable guy.
I like you.
I got a little Trump there. I'm a likable guy. Listen.
You got better hair.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing? Okay. Give me a call. I'll come out and do a complimentary analysis on your home. We're working with a lady out in El Dorado Hills. Called me yesterday and did a little analysis just over the phone. I was able to, with the technology that we have.
That's amazing.
It's phenomenal. And for you folks out there who think you can do it all on your own and we don't need a realtor, I've got realtor.com or I've got Zillow or Trillo or what are they merged to
They
now?
say my house is worth.
Yeah. So listen, I break it down to a science. I'm a fanatic about this when it comes to pricing homes, and I had the pleasure of this year having 3 records set where we've got the highest price, and we're looking to do it again in El Dorado Hills. So I will keep you abreast of that property as it becomes available. And speaking of availability, the market is, is for much hype to be going on downtown, and everything is about the arena, and it's going to drive in so much revenue. I yet to see how that's going to happen. I like what they're doing. Me being originally from New York, I like down there. I like the congestion. I think they're doing this on purpose. I know you got mixed views, right? You want it to be out in the weeds still,
No,
right?
no. I always thought, I'll tell you, the first time I flew into Sacramento 12 years ago, late at night, I was staying in Davis, and I was driving down 5, and I looked over and I said, oh, that's where the Kings play, out in the middle of that field. Well, then Natomas went up around it.
Yeah.
Okay. But my next thought was, driving a little farther south, why isn't the arena right there? And I pointed over to the rail yard. And I always thought, that's that. I thought, there's the blank canvas.
Whoa, hold on, Al Gore.
Yeah,
Wait, whoa.
Al Gore, wow.
Are you saying that this was your idea?
No. But it was inevitable. How's that? Okay. It was inevitable. I had to go down there. I don't know that I'm a big fan. To me, it just feels like it's being shoehorned in, right? And I don't know. I'm sure there's a better master plan, but I just looked at that blank canvas and thought, fantastic. Now, the one thing I will touch on that I agree with you, and you talked about El Dorado Hills.
Yep.
And even though I live in Midtown, if I was living in Folsom, and I wanted to come to a Kings game, and now I'm just taking a light rail and dropping off right there at the arena, and getting on it and taking it right back home. I mean, I think that's going to be phenomenal.
Excellent. It's like the Bay Area, right? You shoot on BART, you can go watch a game, and you can have your fun, and city brings in even more revenue. It's a win-win all around, and let's face it, I mean, they're called the Sacramento Kings, but we know where the big bucks are coming from, the revenue, it's coming from El Dorado County, and it's coming from Placer County. So that'd be a good argument to bring up about exactly how much revenue comes in from season ticket holders, et cetera, in those other counties. They have El Dorado Hills, Roseville, even out in Lincoln and whatnot. Huge influence to what goes on downtown with this arena.
And like I said, I saw it firsthand. Columbus. I spent some time. Indianapolis has a fantastic downtown with the arenas. Many years ago, I ran a half marathon for the Indianapolis 500.
Oh,
and that's a few pounds ago.
Look at that.
But it started in downtown.
I want to see proof.
I got a ribbon. I got a badge. But seeing the arenas that they had going and just what was going on in the downtown was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I even think that the Sacramento officials, one of their road trips was to Indianapolis.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
And
Back when they had Rick Smits.
Yeah, I don't know if it's been that long. You're showing.
I'm
your
dating
age.
myself.
Yeah, you're dating yourself
okay.
there.
All right. No, anytime you're going to bring in a series of shops, you're going to have a sports team, and let's not, we've not even broached the subject of how many venues are going to be down there now. It's no longer going to be Echo Arena. We're actually, and we still host the Final Four here a couple times and bring in revenue out in the middle of the week. So it'll be easier to bring in the revenue down there in that city. My question is, and I'm going to put that question out to you guys out there listening, you in your car, stuck in traffic on the 80, is it worth the hype? I think this is a little bit of a bubble out here in Midtown Sacramento. I think it's a little bit of a bubble. I don't think things should be going for $300 a foot when you're 20 blocks away from the arena. I don't see how you can justify that. So I think there's a little bit of a bubble. I don't see a lot of people driving out, putting their deposits down in fear of loss, because people buy off of one big emotion, and that's fear.
You're right.
And when they fear they're losing, it's this weekend only. It's only going to be here away, and do it now. Hey, that's not the case.
No, and I think you're right. What you're saying about the growth downtown, what's going to happen. I think you are going to see ebbs and flows down there. I think obviously there's a rush now. People want to be in. People want, they're going to want to be around the arena. But like anything, it's going to be a growth process.
Yeah.
The one thing you touch on, and I thought you might be heading with this, was about the citizens and who was for and who was against the arena. Because I said 3, 4, 5 years ago, we ought to take a poll right now, and you should have to vote, and you should tell us which side of this you're on, because I guarantee you, in about 5 years, 98% of the people in Sacramento are going to be in favor of that arena. You're not going to meet anybody who didn't want the arena.
Sure.
Because it's not just about the Kings. What is it, 240 days a year?
Yeah.
That there's going to be something going on in that arena.
Absolutely.
And you talked about it. 7, 8 years ago, we had the NCAA tournament here.
Yep.
And then they didn't come back.
Well, and we have a smart.
That's why they didn't come back. The arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's still echoing. We have a great developer, and that he gets it. Many of the arenas have failed, and many commercial structures, for that matter, have failed in the past because they'll put little shops, they'll anchor it with retail storefronts. And when the economy is down and the market's down and people aren't out, whipping out those credit cards, those storefronts leave, and here we go. And now we have a K Street Mall. It's a ghost town. It takes 20, 25 years before we rebuild. But in this case, we're going to have what everybody loves. They love to eat and like to drink. So we're going to have a lot of restaurants, bar and grills, etc. It's worked in cities like Portland. It's worked in cities like San Antonio.
Absolutely.
So it's worked, like you said, in Indianapolis. So, listen, I'm all for it. I love it. I love the traffic down there. Me, being a New Yorker, I love that energy, that vibe, right? Even if it's only going to be 6 blocks. But my thing is, why is everything going sky high? I mean, we're parking garages downtown. It's like, oh yeah, 600 a foot. Yes. Are you kidding me? This is bananas down here.
It's that part I really can't speak to. I'm not really sure where that's going to go or where it's going to. But you're right.
I'll tell you where it's going to go. It's going to go down.
Yeah,
it's going to go down.
It's got to.
Especially if I'm representing the buyer. I'm bringing the low ball to the table. Uh-oh. You hear that? You hear that?
Right.
Yeah, I'm making
He meant that.
Move here for you guys, for you buyers, for you sellers. If you are out there and you're thinking about selling your home, or you're thinking about buying your home, we talk a lot about, you hear realtors say, oh, the move up buyers, the move up buyers. There's a lot of folks that are moving down too. So if you're thinking about downsizing, you're empty nesters. I know I'm halfway there now with my oldest out of the house. Give me a call, 804-7526. You can reach me at realtorreese.com. And if you need financing help, we'll be glad to partner you up with Steve Atala here at Summit Funding. Steve, you gonna hang around? We got one more segment. It's been a joy having you in here as always.
I do believe I can hang out with you a while.
Even if you got a Steelers sweatshirt on, we'll let them hang out. Folks, don't go anywhere. I want you to hang out. You are tuned into the Realtor Reese Show. Realtor Reese Punter. I'm joined in studio today by the man, the myth, the legend, person to go to for all of your lending needs, Mr. Steve Atala. Thank you
sir.
Again for being here.
Love being here.
You're always in my first pick. You're you're in the first round. All right. Nothing about sixth pick with you.
Jack of all trades, master none.
Well, if I'm going to a golf tournament, you're always going to be the first phone call.
Thank you.
Speaking of sixth pick, Sacramento Kings have the sixth pick in 2015 draft. We've never been able to trade up. Do you think that's important in this particular draft this year?
I don't, because I think they have so many needs. I think there's a lot of different ways they can go. I think you're going to see, I think the first 2 picks, are pretty much in stone. You get the 2 big guys, And then I think picks 3, 4, and 5, you may see some trades. You know, somebody may be coming up. It's always going to happen. But I think when they're sitting there at 6, you know, there's a couple different guys, you know, whether it's another big man to pair with Cousins, whether it's an outside shooter, you know, you've got a new coach too. You got his philosophy and what he's going to bring to it, and he's going to have he's going to start putting his stamp on the grass.
That's kind of why I threw my name out of the hat. That's why, you know.
You guys just don't get along, or what?
Listen, I didn't want to come out there and say, look, it's because you guys got another new coach, I don't want to do this. And that's not me. That's not my stuff. All right, I'm not going to come on a radio show and say it's the coach is the reason why I don't want to play. All right?
You know, I've seen you play basketball. You're an excellent dribbler.
Oh my gosh, I think I do pretty well.
Yeah.
I'll be good.
Yeah.
Out there, you know. I'm speculating here, and speaking of speculating, everybody does that. I mean, you know, we can't, you know. It's ESPN. You know, first of all, let me preface this by saying I love ESPN. I love SportsCenter. For a long time, my wife thought they were one and the same. She says, "Oh, are you watching SportsCenter?" I go, "No, it's on ESPN." She goes, "Yeah, that show you watch." But they're one and the same, right? I love it, but good Lord, let these athletes enjoy, embrace, and take in that moment when they win a championship. I mean, the next day they're already talking about the next year in training camp and who's going to get moved and who's going to get traded, etc. We are in this, you know, this need to know information, and when we know everything, then we just speculate about the rest, right? So now everyone's speculating. Oh, when are we going? Do you think Kings are going to be 40, 42 wins? What do you think? 45, 47 wins? Well, you know, this is going to be the last year. No, you know, it's going to be emotional. So what? They're going to win 15 games because they're emotional? Come on. I always ask you to speculate with interest rates, and I don't know why.
And you and everybody else.
You know, I used to be a stockbroker.
You and everybody else wants me to speculate.
I used to work for Morgan Stanley, and everything was about stock going up, down, down, up, down. So I get that way with 42. Hey, are they going to be up, going down? And, you know, I'm going to ask you again, even though I know you're going to bite my head off.
I'll be kind.
What do you?
You might lose a finger, but you won't.
What do you think? Stop it! Don't touch me there. What do you think about the Kings next year? Where do you see them? And it's a two-part question. What do you think interest rates are going to be doing here in the next third and fourth quarter?
Well, I can tell you one of those questions is pretty simple.
Okay, let's hear it.
And it starts with the Kings. And, you know, I think there's just going to be a steady improvement. I mean, I think there's enough really, really good parts there. I can see them, you know, adding, you know, obviously we don't have a second-round pick. We've only got a first-round pick. So they're going to, and you may see a free agent come in somewhere, but I just, you know, I think you're going to have a training camp under Carl, you know, a whole summer, and I think I see great things. And, you know, and they're going to build because there is going to be a new arena a year down the road. So they're going to want to go into that with a buzz. They're going to want to be on an uptick. Yeah.
Well, and they should. They really should. They've got a ton of support.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure a couple weeks ago going out to, they had a documentary that was made, and they had it out the IMAX, and Grant Napier and everybody was out there, and Carmichael Dave, and, you know, and to hear everyone's story about what went into keeping the Kings here. And it wasn't just the mayor, you know, going out there and waving his hat. A lot of people came together to make this happen, some of which I'm still baffled by. I guess a bill got passed. I don't remember signing it. But, you know, a lot of things happened for this to go down. So is this a desperation for Sacramento, and we need this?
No. You know? I mean, why? I mean, I think it's only going to be a positive, but it's going to be a great impact. But yeah, I got a joke, and I'll probably get run out of town for this one. But I always, you know, I would always hear people, you know, they're not taking our Kings. You know, Seattle's not taking our team, or it's not leaving. Well, didn't we take them from Kansas City? Didn't Kansas City take them from Buffalo? So yeah, they've been here, you know, a long time. You know, they are our team now. But no, I think that's going to be. I think it's going to be great. Now the second part of your question.
You made a good point. Aside from dating yourself, I didn't know about the Buffalo thing. The Kansas City, yes, I knew.
Yeah. So then you asked me to speculate on rates. So
what are they going to do?
Well, buddy, I get that question every day, and I get that question from everybody who goes into contract.
Why do they ask?
Should I lock today?
Why do we want to know?
Rates going up tomorrow? Rates going down tomorrow?
It's not going to be that much.
Well, but my thing is, I've been doing this for 14 years. I view my job as helping you navigate through the loan process. I do not speculate on rates. And I will tell everyone that, because you know what?
You heard it here, folks.
50% of the people out there think they're going up, 50% of the people think they're going down. Like you said earlier, it's like a stock. Somebody's selling it and somebody's buying it. I look at it and say, look at what's going on today. Are you in a situation, you're obviously buying a house, we've discussed financing ahead of time. Here's what the rate is today. Through the loan process, in those 30 days, knock on wood, hopefully you don't see some big changes, but it might change by an eighth. It might change by a quarter of a point.
Sure.
Lock in, know what your payment's going to be, and go to sleep every night.
Oh,
And get a good night's sleep.
that could be a tagline. You've had a couple of them. I hope they're...
Is somebody writing these down?
Are you guys recording this? Is somebody getting this on tape? Do we still get things on tape? But you've had a couple of great points today, and I always appreciate your insight on it, because you're not afraid to go against the grain. I've heard all kinds of speculation and all kinds of data as to why. Even the wealthy, they go away in the beginning of the third quarter. When they come back, and interest rates always go up.
Rates, and there's so many things. The stock market changes on news, changes on world events, changes on natural disasters.
Very true.
So many things.
Very true.
And I view my job as getting people through the loan process and showing them what their payment's going to be today based on today's interest rates. Do you like this? Can you live with it? Let's lock it in.
Managing risk to the best of his ability. Steve Hatala from Summit Funding is joining us here in studio, ladies and gentlemen. If you've missed it so far, you have missed a treat. You have missed a doozy. You'll have to listen to the syndication, or you can go online. Reese at realtorreese.com is my email address, or you can go to realtorreese.com if you want to tune in to what you have missed. We have talked about interest rates, where I think they're going to go. Steve will not speculate on them, and he's a good man for not doing that.
We haven't even touched on the NFL, the new extra point rule. We got to fit that in for a second.
There's no extra players calling me, asking me about real estate, and I'd almost forgotten about it. So yes, this what is this now?
I woke up this morning and
explain this to me.
Well, and and the NFL doesn't do anything by accident. They're timing, and they could have announced this a while back at the owners' meeting and other times.
Yeah.
But they brought it out
I'm
today.
not even thinking about the NFL.
Well, but they want you thinking about it. 12 months out of the year. NFL doesn't take a break. College football does. NFL is 24/7, 12 months, out of the year.
Very true.
But they're moving the extra point back. If you're going to kick the extra point, it's going to the 15-yard line.
All right.
If you want to go for 2, it's going to stay on the 2-yard line. Okay, sounds pretty simple, right?
I got no problem with that.
So now an extra point is going to be a 33-yard field goal.
Okay. All right.
Which are pretty much automatic.
I like that number. It's Tony Dorsett's old number.
Yeah. But think about this one, buddy.
Ah.
Are you going to make a prediction?
Okay.
I'm going to make a prediction that this rule is going to affect the outcome of a game this year somehow.
You think?
One game in the NFL is going to be changed by this rule in some way, shape, or form. Because think about this.
Move them back. Have a cheetah charge at them before they kick the ball. Do something. They got to kick through a fire ring. I don't care.
How about this one? You run the extra point. You're kicking your 33-yard field goal. What if you get a holding penalty? What if you get an unsportsmanlike conduct on somebody?
Well,
all of a sudden
shame on you.
Well, then it becomes you got a 43-yard extra point.
Yeah, that's true.
Or a 48-yard extra point.
That's true. It's
going to happen.
They
know it's going to happen.
They would need a good punter to come and kick that, and you.
Can you just punt the extra point? Maybe you can.
Out there, need a good punter to be on your side. Realtor Reese punter. Your consumer advocate. It should have been. It should have been. Your consumer advocate. Now you see it. Now it's sold. We're sitting here with Steve Hatala from Summit Funding. We've been talking a little bit about the real estate market as it's been moving, and it's kind of like the Kings. The real estate market in Sacramento is much like our Sacramento Kings. We've got, and I've got the pleasure of being right in the nucleus, right in the center of all of this. We are talking homes. We are talking sports, the two major things that are happening right now. It's going to be a wild ride coming up in the next year, 18 months, and we are going to be with you all the way. The Realtor Reese Show. I am, again, Realtor Reese. Steve Hatala, thank you as always.
Anytime, buddy. My pleasure.
205-1468.
I love that you know that off the top of your head.
205-1468. Call him. Call him. As soon as you get home, call him.